Is this question, who ensures EIA conditions are followed? Who ensures EIA conditions are followed? Why do I have a feeling whoever is asking these questions looks like they are trying to evade meeting the conditions of the EIA? The person who is supposed to implement these conditions or to meet these conditions definitely is the business owner. So kama uko na hoteli na tulifanya EIA hoteli yako before ujenge, na sasa ushajenga, ukijenga unafaa kwa una make sure una meet hizo project. So time yenye unajenga, unajua project inakuwa na several phases. Time ya mjengo, construction phase ya project ya your business, mainly you find the person who has the responsibility of implementing is the contractor. Kuna zile vitu contractor unafaa make sure implement. So hiyo time yenye contractor na implement, nani ana supervise? Ni wewe, si ndio? Unafaa kujua waste amepeleka wapi, ile construction waste ametupa wapi. Juu utaki atupe hapo nje kwa barabara alafu block drainage, the road drainage na ni public, for the public, alafu kukue na floods, alafu so during the construction phase you should be the supervisor and the contractor is the implementer. Once you're operating, contractor shall hand over projects kwako. If you guys are community projects, the contractor has handed over the projects to you. If you are a school and there are classrooms being done, the contractor hands the project to the committee. So now the owner of the project is the one who is now in charge of the project and to ensure that the conditions are being implemented and met. So then who is going to ensure that the conditions are followed? It is you, the business owner. You, the owner of the project or the business. When you make sure ati project yako ukioperate, staff wana meet conditions of environment. Hawaendi wakiharibu environment, their well-being is well met, the well-beings of the customers are well met in terms or in relation to the environment. Your business does not violate right ya Wakenya kukuwa na clean and healthy environment. Also una make sure that the laws and regulations yaziko, you are meeting them. Standards yaziko, you are meeting them. Water standards, you are meeting them. Air quality standards, you're meeting them. It is you who is entirely and squarely in charge of ensuring that the conditions are followed. Maybe something I would want to add on that, I think we can even go through. I have with me a license of one of my clients. This is a residential building, and we have conditions behind the license. These are conditions. Eti umepewa hii approval on these conditions. So it's like 3 pages of conditions. Zenye hii license iko valid if you meet and operate within these conditions. So if you're violating these conditions, you can be sure this license can be revoked. So let us just go through the general conditions. Kuna zile tu general. Alafu kuna construction conditions, operational conditions, notification in case there is anything that happens, who you are supposed to notify and how. Then there is the decommissioning, assuming it's a project that requires decommissioning. So general conditions ni kama the license shall be valid for 24 months from the date of issue. Hapa hii license iko valid for 24 months. 24 months zimeisha na hujai jenga ile kitu tulisema unajenga, hujai anza kujenga, hujai anza kuoperate, then you will need to apply for a new license. And the application is an EIA. So kama umeapply for your school, at least within 24 months make sure umeanza process ya biashara yako. Then without prejudice to other license conditions of the license, the proponent shall implement and maintain an environmental management system, organizational requirement and conditions of the license. Hapo hivyo imejibu swali yako. wewe the proponent ndio unafaa ku implement and maintain these systems. The authority, that is NEMA, shall take appropriate action against the proponent in the event of breaching any of the conditions stated herein. All contravention to the Environmental Management Act of 1999, that is Cap 386, and regulations thereafter. So if you go against any other environmental law, the main environmental act or any other regulations, you, the proponent, the owner of the business, owner of your project, will be liable. Appropriate action will be taken. Then the license shall not be taken as statutory defense against charges of pollution in respect to any manner of pollution not specified herein. So hii ni kusema sasa juu uko na hii license, it does not mean that you should pollute the environment. It does not mean that now you should release all your sewer waters untreated to the environment. It does not mean that sasa haufai kushughulikia environment juu uko na license. Hii license haikudefend against charges of pollution. In fact, ulikuwa na issues with your project causing environmental pollution, this license will be revoked juu your condition hujamit. Another one is the proponent shall ensure that records on conditions of licenses and approvals and the project monitoring and evaluation shall be kept on site at all times for inspection by NEMA environmental inspectors. Inafaa kuwa a copy of this should always be on site. Staff wako wanafaa kuwa wanajua conditions zenye ziko hapa. Also kwa report, ile EIA report uliandikiwa na expert wako, there is an environmental management plan. Unafaa kuwa mpaka umeiprint, kama huna the whole report hapo umeiweka hapo. Train your staff on that management plan. Have a copy of this always on site. Have a copy of the report on site. Then the proponent shall submit an environmental audit report in the first year of occupation, operational commissioning to confirm the efficacy and adequacy of the environmental management plan. Tumesema kwa EIA report kuna section inakuanga on an environmental management plan. That section inakuanga ni a plan of how you manage the environment ukishaanza ku operate. So ukishaanza ku operate na una implement your plan, then after 1 year of operation unafaa ufanye audit ndio uone kama hiyo plan iko effective, uone kama your plan it is doable, uone kama your plan there places you need to change. So that is why after 1 year you're supposed to do an environmental audit and take it to NEMA also. The proponent shall comply with NEMA improvement orders throughout the project cycle. Improvement orders unapeangwa ukifanya audit. Ukishafanya audit report yako ikiandikwa inapelekangwa kwa NEMA, and then NEMA wanakupeanga an improvement notice. Wamepitia audit yako, they see an area you need to improve on, they give you an improvement order. So those are the general conditions. We have construction conditions zenye unafaa hatutapitia zote. Construction, we ensure we adhere to the occupational health and safety issues. Una make sure time yenye unafanya excavation, demolition, all those things, you reuse the wastes that you have, and so on and so on. So these are conditions you need to follow as you're conducting your EIA. As you're conducting your project, make sure to implement this. It is for you, the owner of the project, the owner of the business, that is tasked. That is tasked. Hey. Task ya kuimplement iko kwako. So in case you need help, call me out and let's talk.